Hi there, this is Alex Mitchell from Agents of Change Social Work Test Prep. In today's Social Work Short, we're going to talk about the ASWB exam changes coming in 2024. This is our November 2023 update based on information just shared by the ASWB. It's a follow-up to the update we gave you in August of this year with a few other details that the ASWB has shared about these changes coming next year. So let's jump in. First, starting with the original August 2023 announcement. So just a refresher here, this is where ASWB announced that they selected a company called PSI as their new testing partner, replacing Pearson VUE, and that this would start in 2024. So in addition to PSI replacing Pearson, the ASWB also announced several other important changes to the ASWB exam, including a scholarship for repeat test takers and the plans to introduce remote testing in late 2024. So let's recap those major changes again that they announced in August. So first, PSI replaced Pearson as the exam administrator, the one who actually provides the exam administration, provides the location where you take the exam, all of the administration items around the ASWB exam will be done by PSI starting in 2024. PSI also took on responsibility for exam development. So that's actually how the exam is designed, the questions that are asked, making sure the exam is fair, although that's going to take a little bit longer. That's not going to happen right at the beginning of 2024. Also, as I mentioned, they committed ASWB to creating a scholarship fund for those who have to take the test multiple times. And then finally, they introduced that there will be a remote testing option with secure online proctoring coming in late 2024. So no specifics, but that remote testing option coming in late 2024. So those were the major updates they announced in August. So let's talk about what they just announced in November. So on November 1st, they followed up on that original announcement, sharing some additional information about registration for testing at PSI testing centers. They also shared a 2024 exam guidebook and finally provided information about English PDF dictionaries that are available without prior approval for candidates of the ASWB exam. So again, recapping those big November updates that they just shared. First, the registrations are now being accepted for PSI testing centers with test dates that begin on the 2nd of January 2024. The 2nd of January 2024. There will be no testing appointments this year between December 16th, 2023 and December 31st, 2023. This is to allow them to transition from Pearson to PSI. So again, no testing appointments December 16th to December 31st. They also confirmed that the exam questions and scoring will remain the same in the short term. So as I mentioned back from that August update, it's going to take longer before we see any updates to the actual exam or the scoring of the exam. So for now, that's going to stay the same. Finally, electronic English dictionaries are now going to be available without prior approval needed for all test takers during their examination. So for those who are English as a second language, you now will have an electronic English dictionary available to use while you're taking the test at a PSI testing center without prior approval needed. So those are the 4 major changes. Let's break those down a little bit more. First, let's talk about registrations. So if you're registering for testing for your ASWB exam after November 1st, 2023, you're going to be testing at a PSI test center. And your date will be January 2nd or later in 2024. The ASWB encourages everyone to familiarize themselves with the PSI testing platform. You can do this by going to the PSI testing website and looking at the way that they administer their exams. And again, no testing appointments will be available at the very end of this year, December 16th to the 31st. That's going to be a transition period. So again, if you're registering after November 1st, you're going to be testing with PSI, and your date will be January 2nd or later next year. Second, the exam questions and scoring are going to remain the same. So if you've been reviewing the content outlines and KSAs for your ASWB exam, those are going to be unchanged in this transition to PSI. If you're unfamiliar with those, you're just getting started studying, please check out the Agents of Change blog, where you can search for KSA, the letters KSA. You can search for content outline, and you'll be able to see some great articles that we've put together for all levels of the ASWB exam, breaking down what these terms mean, why they're important, and how they can help you with your studying. Also, the scoring of these exams is going to be unchanged in this transition to PSI. You can learn more about how the exam scored also on the Agents of Change blog. And then finally, they reiterated that online testing will be coming in later 2024, saying that they are excited that this partnership with PSI will allow them to offer online testing later in 2024. The ASWB will notify all registered test takers about online testing availability and technical requirements when that option becomes available. So stay tuned, but later 2024 for online testing. And then finally, electronic English dictionaries are available. And so the way that ASWB has described this, they've said an electronic English PDF dictionary, so PDF online, will be available without prior approval to all test takers during their examination. That's going to begin on January 2nd, 2024. So the first day that you're testing at PSI, those English electronic PDF dictionaries will be available. This includes additional dictionaries. This does not include additional dictionaries, which will no longer be available to candidates as part of English as a second language arrangements. So again, this is replacing some of the resources that exist today. You just don't have to get approved for it. So you can get this English PDF dictionary available for all test takers. Those additional dictionaries that existed before with Pearson will no longer be available to candidates. If you have more specific questions on the transition, you can contact the ASWB Candidate Services Center. So if you need to find that, just Google ASWB Candidate Services Center, or you can also email them directly at specialarrangements@aswb.org. They can help answer those questions. They can help answer any questions around non-standard testing arrangements. And if you want to learn more, you can check out the direct post from the ASWB called Test Administration Changes Coming January 2nd, 2024. That's where you can find the original article where we pulled many of these details from. You can also find more, again, on the Agents of Change blog, where we've written a post about this. If you're looking for more ASWB study content, please do check out agentsofchangeprep.com. You can find great free materials. You can also find paid materials, practice exams, study groups, and more, again, at agentsofchangeprep.com. If you have any specific questions, please email us at agentsofchangeprep@gmail.com, and we'd love to help you out. Again, whether you're taking your exam with Pearson or PSI, you've got this. We're here to help you at Agents of Change, and you can do it. Thank you.